Three agencies in the City and County of Los Angeles have collaborated to conduct a large-scale needs assessment of older residents in Los Angeles County. The results have been published in a report titled LA County Senior Count, and the report was honored recently with an Aging Innovations Award, which recognizes groundbreaking programs that are innovative and bring fresh ideas to the aging programs. We will discuss that report on today's program. Stay tuned for Aging in LA. Hi, I'm Paul Peterson. Welcome to Aging in LA. We are coming to you today from the offices of the Los Angeles Department of Aging here on Wilshire, and we're here to discuss a most remarkable document. It is the Needs Assessment Survey, which was conducted by the area agencies on aging, both the city and county, and we are pleased to have with us the chairperson of this survey, which is really fascinating, Marilyn Freed. Marilyn, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you are here, because how did this award-winning, and I want to stress that, this is an award-winning survey, how did it get started?
Well, it started with the Los Angeles County Commission on Aging having a retreat in 2005 and looking at how we would be able to advise the Board of Supervisors to the needs of the citizens living in the County of Los Angeles. And at that time, we decided the best way to do it would be to have a survey of the seniors themselves and get that information. What were their unmet needs?
And you engineered a survey that really is groundbreaking, because over 16,000 people participated.
Yes.
So this was genuinely the voice of our senior citizens here in the greater Los Angeles area.
That's true. We distributed over 100,000 copies of the survey and got back over 16,500.
That's remarkable. And some were online as well, right? You could actually do this online as well?
Yes, it was available online in English and in Spanish, and it was available in hardcover in 7 languages.
That's fantastic. Now, 16% return, for those of you who may not know, is about 4 times what the ordinary rate of response is, because seniors clearly care about this. They wanted to express themselves. Now, with this diverse community of ours that is so widespread geographically and politically, were you surprised to see how uniform the concerns of the seniors were?
Actually, I was. You know, we thought that we would see greater diversity of need in areas that were more, larger populations than others, and it wasn't. The needs were pretty much uniform.
Now, we're talking about how many supervisorial districts? I mean, there's a ton of them.
There are 5 supervisor districts and 15 city council districts.
Right. Of course, you know the old joke that Alan Sherman had, that Los Angeles is 18 shopping centers looking for a city. But it is true. This is a big city.
Yes.
And I was amazed myself to see that even in those economically disadvantaged regions, their concerns mirrored the most prosperous districts that we have.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something about the great common denominator of aging.
I guess, yeah.
Now, you're also a county commissioner and sit on the board, or what is it called exactly?
The Los Angeles County Commission on Aging.
Los Angeles County Commission on Aging. And you worked with the city of Los Angeles, because those are 2 distinct entities.
Yes. Yes, it was a kind of a groundbreaking effort, bringing the city and the county together. The county has 88 cities other than Los Angeles, but the area agency on aging are in both the city of Los Angeles and the county. So that's a very, very large group of seniors that we worked with.
Well, I noticed when I flipped through this, one of the aggravations for a person who reads a lot of reports is the print is always so small and the graphics are horrible. But I want to show this because this is important. The key findings of the report. I want you to look at this as from a senior perspective, right? We're wearing our glasses. It's big print. You don't have to wade through a ton of statistics and see how this was engineered to get the point of all of this. And I thought the one that jumped out at me, because we've done shows about this, that 61% of our seniors had inadequate or lacked dental insurance. And yet oral hygiene is a clear indicator of the state of a person's well-being.
Sure.
Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised that the large number, I mean, that's 3 out of every 5 people living in the county expressed, that were surveyed, expressed a need in that area. And but when you think about it, you have Medicare does not have a dental component.
Yes.
So that the seniors have to rely on their own for dental coverage, and it's expensive, and many of them don't have it. Many of them don't have dental exams on a regular basis.
Right, I saw that. But 31% had not had a dental exam in the last 3 years.
That's correct.
Oral health is important.
Sure.
That's for sure. And then to see that a third hadn't had their flu shot.
Yes.
And flu like that can be a real health breaker.
For sure. And half of them had not had a pneumonia shot in 10 years.
Oh.
And the third that had not had the flu shot was in the last 3 years. That can be life-saving. That's those are things that we, you know, the technology is available, and we have to find a way to get the seniors to be able to take advantage of those things.
Right. Marilyn, let me jump sort of to the end. The purpose of this survey was to help educate our city leaders into what's coming, because our senior population is going to explode.
Sure, sure. It was to find out what the unmet needs were from the seniors themselves, and the idea being that other groups could use the document. Our city leaders, our state leaders, our federal leaders could use it, as well as corporations and foundations and nonprofit groups and groups that would be interested in helping to meet those needs.
Now, if a person wanted to get a hold of this survey, and once again, I must tell you, it is really professionally done. The photographs are beautiful, the graphs are easy to read. How would a person go about acquiring this?
On the back page.
On the back page?
There are addresses that you can get copies of the surveys.
Okay, we'll put this up on the screen so people can make contact.
You can call and get copies mailed to you, or it's available online.
Well, who did all the picture selections? Because they're really wonderful.
The committee.
The committee
worked.
Is this over coffee and donuts? Trying to figure out how to do it?
It was very intense. I mean, we were meeting sometimes once a week, sometimes 2 and 3 times a week to try and get this together and get it in the final form.
Well, it's a remarkable accomplishment, and the awards are well deserved. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for being with us. We're going to take a short break right now, and we'll be back to discuss more about this survey of our older adult population here in the greater Los Angeles area.
In the aftermath of a disaster, you may not be able to rely on your knowledge of your home. You might also not be able to rely on your guide dog. The dog may be injured, frightened, confused, panicky. Be prepared to calm your dog and to keep it confined and securely leashed and/or harnessed. For additional information, please contact the Department on Disability or the Emergency Management Department by calling the numbers on the screen or by dialing 311.
The Department of Public Works Bureau of Contract Administration keeps the city's projects on track, ensuring safety first and fairness always, from the streets all the way to the stars.
Hi, Paul Peterson. Welcome back to Aging in LA. We are here today discussing this remarkable survey of the older adult population of the greater Los Angeles area. And our guests in the second half of the show include Ms. Cynthia Banks, who is a director of the Area Agencies on Aging, and of course our old and dear friend Laura Trejo. Laura, welcome. It's good to have you back. It's good to have both of you because you have created what is going to be a serious resource for what's coming to us as the population grows steadily older. Yes. Cynthia, the process, I'm just amazed that you got such wonderful participation from our seniors. Over 16,000.
Yes, we are very, very pleased. We believe that it's the largest response that we have had from a group of seniors nationally and probably from the world. We sent out over 100,000 surveys and received 16,000 and about 500 of them. So we're really, really pleased that we were able to do this.
But I'm not surprised that given the opportunity, our seniors voiced their opinions. And Laura, you just must be smiling from ear to ear because you won a nationally recognized award for this survey.
We're really very proud. The partnership between the Los Angeles City Area Agency on Aging and Los Angeles County Area Agency on Aging, even in the application to the award, was unique. They had never received two area agencies applying for a single recognition. And so our colleagues really didn't know what to do with it, but really gave us one of 9 innovation awards on a national level, which is really considered among the best of its kind in terms of a survey of this nature. So we're very proud.
It's well deserved. I told you earlier when I showed my wife that the key findings are there in big print and nice big dots so that you can refer to it. This is going to make, I think, our pitch, our combined pitch to political leaders and foundation leaders so much easier because this is the real deal.
Yes.
For example, 19% of our seniors, this is across the county, reported needing help for things like grocery shopping.
Yes.
Now, people think, well, what does that mean? Well, what it means is there's no one there to help.
Yes.
They're having difficulty, which means transportation issues. Did anything in the report strike you as amazing that I can't believe we didn't know about this?
Well, you know, one of the things, the most significant finding is the inadequate dental insurance. When we started the process, we thought we'd find looking for health care and maybe transportation as the most significant finding. But when dental came to the forefront, we said, we really didn't know this, and we were so pleased that we were able to get that information to start looking for resources to assist the seniors in finding the help that they so badly need.
Well, I thought another one was that 25% reported difficulties and they needed help for home repairs.
Correct.
And I'm thinking, you know, if you were smart enough and you put the grab bar, say, next to the bathtub, but it broke, you better have somebody to help you fix it.
And there's also, I think, in our community, difficulty for older adults in trusting repair persons that are going to do the job correctly, that is not going to be a scam. I know that on an ongoing basis we have challenges in trying to help connect seniors. Both the city and county have handy worker type programs that assist low-income seniors with small repairs in the home. But again, when you look at the population size of Los Angeles City and Los Angeles County, it is quite daunting for any program to meet the ongoing needs of the entire population.
Well, and we should talk about those needs. Let's see, we have 1.3 million seniors now, at least that's what the report said. But it's going to be 3 million in 20 some odd years.
Yes.
Now, you're going to double the needs, which means all of us better get engaged on this subject as quickly as possible.
And that's really one of the main reasons why we wanted to do this project at this time, because we need to step up the planning for our seniors.
Yes.
We need to make sure that both the county and the city are prepared to meet the needs of our seniors. In the past, the responses that we have gotten to needs assessments have really been second party. This is the first survey of this type county-wide, addressing, getting the needs from seniors from them individually and not from their caretaker and not from a provider. So we know that as our senior population grows, the needs are going to grow as well, and we need to be better prepared for it.
Well, I think this has been a wonderful model for cooperation. And I brag about you all the time, Laura, you know I do, that when I needed the resources of the Department of Aging, you guys were there for me, things I had no idea about. And once again, you have established really groundbreaking precedent that we've got to all cooperate. This isn't the West Side against the East Side, against the South Side or the Valley. We're all in this one together. Now, do you expect that the results and the way it's presented will be able to help in approaching our city leaders and those who are directing foundations?
Absolutely. Decision makers already in the city and county, all our policymakers, have received copies of the report. One of the things that Cynthia and I work on an annual basis is our area plan, our local area plans. This will have a positive impact on directing our own resources that we currently have access to, and also preparing our systems in order for it to fulfill the needs not only now but in the future of seniors, understanding what the seniors themselves have said they need.
Right.
So that is part of our strategic plan in looking at how to disseminate the findings from the report.
Well, I noticed that in one of the statistics here, in fact, I'm going to hold this up to highlight it, that 29% of our seniors reported feelings of social isolation. That has to end.
Yes.
We've got to go out into their homes and make assessments
Yes.
for those needs, or get them back into the swing of things, if you will.
Yes, and I really think that that is an area that takes a lot of sensitivity rather, because we know that various individuals react to different type of social activity, and there's not one type of social activity for every senior. So we need to be able to go out and touch the individual's life to find out what their specific needs are, and be able to provide a breadth of services and a breadth of opportunities for them to feel like they are no longer isolated.
Well, I think, frankly, we need to challenge the seniors themselves.
Yes.
That you're going to have to make an effort here.
Sure.
We want your input, and we want your wisdom. And a lot of these people they were key executives in their working life, and they have all those managerial skills. I mean, I can honestly see them at our senior centers, which, oh, by the way, we need to double at least. Actively participating, whether it's daycare issues for seniors or maybe residential facilities, because housing was reported as a problem for our seniors. But we want them back.
Yeah, and the good news is that we have over 172 senior centers within Los Angeles County.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
It really is.
One of the things Cynthia and I have been doing is we are actually creating a network for the directors of senior centers county-wide. We're trying to use that forum as a way of disseminating sort of the best practice of programs, so that our directors are up very current on the latest programming and activities that interest older persons. But it really requires the older person, as you say, to also make an effort and meet us halfway. We're creating new programs, exciting opportunities at the centers, but we really want them to come and participate and be involved, help direct them. We recently had an experience at one of our senior centers where the seniors themselves were participating in an exercise class, and they said, we want more. We don't want the class. The class it was a 20-week class, and after the 20 weeks, they said, we're not leaving. We want more. We love it. This is making a difference in our lives. We feel healthier. We love each other in terms of the social context that we're making. And they say, you figure it out, because we're not going anywhere. And I can tell you that senior center director was on their toes, providing more programming for them, and delighted to understand how much of an impact the class had had. So we really want seniors to be very involved with us.
Right, and you mentioned something about best practices. We do have best practices.
Yes,
and we have programs in this city and county that are working.
Yes.
Right. And if you look at our population as a region, Los Angeles County, our population of seniors outnumbers the population of most nations. And working together on a regional approach, bringing those best practices together, we have an awful lot to share, not only with our local seniors, but with the world. And that's really what we're looking at. We're looking at being able to interface with our seniors, bring them on board, and to make sure that they get the services that they need, knowing that the baby boomer population is on its way in.
Oh, yes,
And
they started
that-
already.
And they've started already, and we have to make sure that what we provide is meeting the needs.
Well, I think there is something positive about making this a leadership challenge.
Yes.
Of saying this is time for you to take the reins not only of your destiny, but your children and your
Exactly.
children's children. Let's make this a city, a model of services and concern. And I think most of all that we're sincere about this. Do
Without
you
a
remember,
doubt.
Laura, when we talked about people in homes where what they cared most about was somebody actually cared about them?
And you know, one of the things that we found through the survey, we really reached out to communities, to local neighborhood levels, to ensure that we had representation on this survey that was really reflective of the population of the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, at the Councilmatic District, at the neighborhood level, at the Board of Supervisors district level. And seniors came out and helped us out by filling these out. Now we will put it also back into the community and say, the results are here, help us make a difference in improving the systems that serve all of us, because it's really about all of our quality of life, not just seniors.
And we know that living in Los Angeles County, it's a multi-ethnic, multicultural environment.
Yes,
And
indeed.
as part of our
But
survey...
we got the best food.
Well, we do. We do. And as part of that, one of the things we were able to do is to have the survey in a number of languages,
Yes.
which allows us to be able to drill down and find out if there are particular needs in particular ethnic areas that we can address that are maybe not prevalent in another area. So we are really, really pleased with that aspect of our report as well.
I noticed one of the distinct features in one of the supervisorial districts was difficulty with taking medications.
Yes.
And I said to myself, that has to be language. That has to be, the instructions are being given but not comprehended. Because it really did stand out for me here in generally the downtown area. And I'm thinking, you know, one or two high school students who are in a pre-med program making home visits would really make a difference in a
Right.
statistic like that. Now, how inclusive do you envision some of these programs? Could we actually build a community for seniors? You know, sort of a planned place where seniors can congregate and find their medical care and their housing needs met?
You know, actually, rather than a planned community, one of the things that's naturally occurring are called naturally occurring retirement
Yeah,
communities.
the NORC. That's
The
right.
NORCs, you've heard that term
I've heard
before.
that term.
It's one of those lingos that we use in aging. But that's occurring now. We have communities where older people are already aging in place. Part of the survey is to also help Cynthia and I begin to more strategically plan at the neighborhood level how our agencies can be more effective in outreaching and delivering care. But Los Angeles, as you said, is usually one of the forefronts in the nation in testing different models. We actually have 2 NORCs that are operating a model of development of services right now. We are all looking at their findings because we want to find out how will we utilize it in the future to plan to our local community levels. But that's already happening in Los Angeles. That's something for the future. That is now in terms of large concentrations of 75 plus or 85 plus year olds living in close proximity to one another, which really is going to challenge both of us to plan differently in terms of how we'll do delivery of care and how will we organize our services around those communities.
Right. And those are so important, and I know from seniors in my family and from what I've read, they want to age in place.
Yes.
Don't uproot me. Don't take me away from my photographs and all the rest. So, how do we go about alleviating the concerns of our seniors? What's next? What should we do with all this information, Cynthia?
Well, one of the things that you can do is look at it and determine how it applies to you as an individual, how it applies to your parents, how it applies to your close relatives, and find out if they actually have those needs that have been identified in the report. If they do, try to find resources for them. In addition to that, what we are doing is we're looking at those key findings and we are identifying resources to assist those needs that have been identified. In addition to that, we're working with the area agency councils and the Commission on Aging to do some advocacy work as well.
Great. Well, we all need to be advocates. Again, we are talking about this survey of the older adult population. We thank you both so much, Cynthia, Laura. This has been a wonderful development. The award is well deserved. This is really a great document, and I look forward to relying on it in the future. I'm Paul Peterson with the Department of Aging and Aging in LA. Thank you so much for joining us today, and Laura, we're going to give you your office back.
Okay. You're always welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.